If you can believe it, it's been almost a year since I've done an earnings update. And if you watched that video, you know that I wasn't too happy with myself back then. So how have things changed? As many of you know, I took almost a year off YouTube as well, and I didn't really work on my sites that much. So that kind of begs the question, how much passive income can you actually earn if you don't do anything for almost a year? And that's what we're going to answer in this video. First of all, what I'm going to do is just give you the numbers. I'm going to talk about how much I've earned in the last month. And then for those that really want to watch it, I'm going to break it down and compare it to how much I was earning over a year ago. And then we can discuss it. So for the last month, August 2022, I've made $998.05. And that's with everything that I've got going on. So if we break that down, that's about $553 with Ezoic ads, and that's spread over about 4 or 5 websites, and it's $444-ish with affiliate. So obviously all my projects are earning a little bit more money in terms of ads than affiliate. And if we break down the affiliate earnings, you can see that Amazon only accounts for 16% of my total. And to be honest with you, this month I got a couple big affiliate commissions that I don't normally get. So site 3 gave me a really nice little commission this month, about $150, and I also earned about $200-ish from this YouTube channel in affiliate commissions. So relatively, nearly $1,000 in passive income is pretty good when you consider that I haven't been working on many of these sites for nearly a year. So what I've been trying to do is to keep a better record of all of my income. The one thing I'm not doing so well on is the loss. So I'm not really recording things like how much I'm paying for hosting and things like that. But the fact that I don't really have any writers to outsource to at the moment, you know, the loss is not so much, it's just my time. And I was also a little bit too lazy to go back past January of this year. But if you look here, you can see that at the beginning of the year, I only made about $650 in total, and you know, it's kind of fluctuated since then. And in July and August, it seems to be coming back. But to be quite frank with you, in July and August, I got some very unusual affiliate commissions, one of which was over $300, and it's really tipped the scale. So I think you can really appreciate how much of a hit my sites have taken by looking at Ezoic, comparing the last kind of 30 days of August 2022 to the same kind of period in 2021. And you can see that my sites have taken a 52% hit in terms of revenue. Page views are down only by 15% overall. But yeah, basically things aren't looking very good. And there's a bit of a story to that, which I'll talk about later. I think another factor to talk about is the fact that I've had the Ezoic Premium on my websites for a long time, since about the end of January 2021. And it was slowly building up, and there's different tiers, and the first one I think is $44 a month. And I went through and I got up to the $110 a month, then got up to $220 a month. So all of this is going to kind of increase your revenue because it's just exposing you to better paying ads. And it was all going fine until about December 2021, when it dropped from the tier that was $220, and they dropped me straight down to $44 because the traffic just tanked in December. And since then, I've been pretty much stuck at that $44 tier. I've tried to upgrade to the 110 a couple of times, most recently a week ago, and every time after a couple of days I get reduced back down to the $44. Now this is all automatic, and it's to try and stop you from paying more than you're actually earning, but I can't really understand why I can't get back onto that tier, because if we look, for example, here, I think I turned it on around the 17th of August of this month, and straight away overnight, like the amount of money I earn, it goes straight up, and then it gets turned off again. So I think maybe that's another thing that's stopping me earning the amount of money that I was earning a year ago. So for those of you who've been watching this channel for a while, you know that I've really been kind of following 3 sites that I built using the Project 24 method. Whether or not I've been following that method as well as I could do, that's debatable. But we're going to go through those sites now and look at the traffic. But I'm also going to introduce a couple of other sites I've been working on in the last year, and you're going to see how those are kind of like matching up to the older sites. Okay, so site 1, which I started back in May of 2019, in the last kind of 30 days, not counting August 31st, it's got 11,000 page views. Site 2, which is in the wedding niche, and as many of you know, I didn't really put a lot of time into this. This was started in October of 2019, as was Site 3. And this just gets 2,899 page views. And you can see it's had a little bit of a bump in the last couple of days. Apparently this one's doing okay in terms of the latest helpful content update. So Site 3, which as I said before, started at the same time as Site 2, this has got 27,504 page views in the same period. Now, if we quickly compare all of those sites in terms of traffic with the same kind of time last year, you can see that Site 1 is about 35% down in terms of traffic. Site 2, interestingly, only down by about 5%-ish. I really don't know why. This has been fairly steady, even though it's got the fewest posts. And you can see that Site 3, again, down by just shy of 40%. So I've lost a lot of traffic over the last year. And I just wanted to show you guys the trend in the last year for these three sites. So you can see Site 1 here from August 2021 to the end of August 2022. It's just going kind of down. Looks like it's maybe recovering a little bit in the update here, but nothing to write home about. Site 2 is doing a little bit better, and Site 3 just consistently losing traffic over time. So just to compare Google Analytics to Google Search Console, you can see for Site 1, it's telling me I've got about 5,000 clicks. Site 2, about 2,000 clicks. Site 3, just over 14,000 clicks. And just to show that Google Analytics isn't lying, you can see the comparison for Google Search Console for Site 1, almost about half down. Site 2, yeah, it's dropped a little bit in terms of clicks, but it does seem to be a little bit more consistent than the other two sites. And Site 3, we're looking at about, yeah, half of the clicks have gone. And if you want to see the big picture, you can see Site 1, yeah, everything's just kind of dropping over time. Site 2 had a nice little bump around May 2022, and it's just going up and down. And Site 3 from about November of 2021, it's just, yeah, gone to hell. So like a lot of content creators, I have Amazon affiliate links on my sites, and it hasn't been too good for me. I'm trying to find other affiliate opportunities, but they're not as consistent, although when I do get them, they do pay out a lot more. So if we just look at the entire year from January to August, and in the last month, in total, I got about $72. And you can see it kind of fluctuates up and down, but in total, so far this year, I've earned $650 US. And just to compare that to last year, in January, I made $153. August, I made $84. And in total for the whole year, it was just over $1,000 US. So yeah, Amazon, nothing to write home about really. So if we just break down Amazon for August, Site 1 made $54, Site 2 made just $1, and Site 3 breaking the bank with just over $2. So what is the state of the sites that I've been showing on this channel? Well, if we look at Site 1, it's only got 136 posts on it. And honestly, the last time I posted anything on that site was back in December of 2021. So it hasn't had any new content in the last 8 months. Site 2, which is in the wedding niche, it only ever had 34 posts on it, and I haven't put anything on that since March 2020. So Site 3, again, it's only got 132 posts on it. And in the last sort of between February and June, I put 20 posts on it, but I haven't touched it since. So that's kind of where everything lies with the three main websites that we've been talking about on this channel. Not a lot has changed in the last year, and it's not because I've been sitting on my laurels, it's because a lot of things have been happening to me. So we all like to watch those content creators who talk about how much they're earning in passive income, but a lot of them don't really talk about like real life, because often things get in the way and it just distracts you. And that kind of is what happened to me. So some of the big life changes I've gone through is I became a dad for the first time. And although it's a really, really happy time in my life, it's also a very stressful time in my life, because it's not under the conditions that I wish that I was doing this basically. It was a bit of a surprise, and for the 9 months that my wife was pregnant, I was rushing around like a headless chicken trying to make money, because I thought blogging was not really the quickest way to do that. So I turned my attention more to YouTube. I really went all in with this channel I had called the IELTS Grind with my colleague Michael, and we tried really, really hard to get that going because we had grand schemes of kind of selling courses and finding students that we could teach and make a decent wage. It just didn't really take off. And in February, Michael decided to go back to the United States, and it was probably a good decision for him. After that kind of crashed and burned, I thought, okay, I want to put my attention into another YouTube channel I have, which is called Caliban Rising. And it's all to do with aeroplanes and flight simulators and things like that. It's what I absolutely love. I'm a massive flight simulator geek. And basically I was trying to emulate another creator who kind of went from making game focused YouTube videos to more history focused. And he made the pivot, and he's just really taken off, but it didn't happen for me. I put in kind of 6 months real hard work, but it was a lot of effort to produce these videos and nothing really came with it. But funny enough, in the last month, that channel has started to take off. So I might have to rethink that decision to stop creating on that channel. But in terms of real work, I've been a teacher for a long time. So this is kind of a career that I fell into because it was great for traveling at the time, but it's not really a career where you can progress too much in terms of how much you're earning. And my industry really got hit pretty bad by COVID. The school that I was working at was a nice little cushy job. I knew exactly what I was doing, and it didn't take too much of my mental capacity, leaving a lot more time and energy to put into building a passive income. That school decided to let everyone go because they couldn't sustain their school without any business. And I got that email, I think it was a week after my daughter was born. So I was made redundant then. And it was really hard to get another job that was kind of paying me the same amount of money an hour. So in the first 4 months of my daughter being born, I didn't really have a regular job. And then I found a nice kind of remote job I could do from my office here, working for a company called OnFolio. And I was doing outreach, basically building backlinks for them. And I worked there for 3 months, and they suddenly let everyone go. I woke up literally at 6 o'clock in the morning. I started work, and I got a message from my colleague saying, "Did you see the email from the weekend?" And they had let everyone go. And so I was made redundant a second time in about 6 months. So in the last 18 months, the way I'm feeling is like a drowning man in like an ocean of money rafts. And I'm just trying to find the closest one, the easiest one to get on. And just that mentality is really hindering my process building a passive income. And to be honest, I was kind of hoping after like doing this for nearly 3 years that I would just have that full-time income. And for my family, that could be $3,000 would make a massive difference to our lives. One of the things I really, really regretted was that my wife, who has more of a traditional office job, she had to go back to work after just 8 weeks. And I really wish that I could have given her like time at home with the baby, because like the work hours in Taiwan are just crazy. So basically what I'm saying is I've been very distracted, and there's a few new websites that I've been working on for some stupid reason. Now, I've spoken about 2 websites already on this channel. There's Shortisans, which only has 9 posts on it, and it was like a weekend project I did back in about June 2021. And there's Best Man's Best Man, which was a site I bought very early on in my Project 24 journey, and it's got 147 posts on it. Most of them are junk. It's something that I didn't really work on much more than changing the theme, which I did a video on a little while ago. And these websites, they only really contribute $5 or $10 a month, but you can see the traffic here for Shortisans. Back about a year ago, it was getting just shy of 2,000 page views a month, and at the moment it's getting just over 1,000 page views a month. And Best Man's Best Man, it was getting about 1,700 page views back in August 2021, and it's had a bit of a blip. Around June it got up to 4,500, and I haven't even touched this site, but then it's come back down to about the same level so far in August, about 1,700 or so page views. But there are 2 other sites I've been working on which are actually monetized at the moment, but they're still growing. So there's what I'm going to call site 4, which is kind of in the astrology space, new age sort of space. It's not doing too well. So site 4 has currently got 77 posts on it, and I've been really experimenting there with kind of topic clusters. And you can see from December to August, it's had a lot of fluctuations. It's had a few peaks. In February, got just about 600 page views. In May, it got up to 900, but it's been kind of hit since then. And it only got about 265 page views in August. But the real star of the last year is what I'm going to call Site 5. And this was totally random that I fell into this niche. And with a lot of these ideas, I was just testing things out. So I started publishing on this website back in April 2021, and it was really not a very good idea what I did. I was targeting like the user generated content, so really going after rankings for forums and things like that. And I put maybe 20 posts on it and left it, didn't think of anything of it. And around February, it just took off. And since then, I've got 60 posts on it in total. And you can see that in August, it's now got 9,300 page views on it. It's just really taken off. So in terms of revenue, Site 5 with just 9,000 page views has made about $150 in the last 30 days. If you compare that to Site 3, which has the most page views at the moment, which is around 24,000, that's making $220. So I'm really hoping that Site 5 doesn't get hit in the helpful content update, because this is something that I think I can build up and hopefully sell to get a bit of money to invest into everything else. So there's a lot of information there, a lot of things to digest, and I'm still a little bit confused about what I'm going to do in the future. I definitely need to come back to these sites and maybe work on them a little bit more, but there's a lot of those niches that after this latest update, I don't feel like I am the expert. I don't know if I can really do them justice. What I'd really like to do is build up the traffic, build up the revenue to a certain amount where perhaps I can sort of sell them and then funnel that money back into sites that I could do a little bit better in, perhaps. Over the last year, I've noticed a lot more competition, a lot more Project 24 websites in particular coming into the niches. Site 3 in particular, I was the only one in that niche as far as I could see, and I've found a couple of sites that I kind of really, some of them a little bit better than my site. One of them looks almost identical. It's another Project 24 member, I think, and although they haven't copied my content, they've certainly copied my ideas, and they've even copied the layout for my affiliate links and everything like that, which was not very nice to see. But blogging is business, to be honest, and it's more of a bar fight than anything else. So my immediate plans are really to put all my efforts into Site 5. There's the Income School Content Warrior Challenge coming up in September, and I'm going to put all my effort into putting the posts onto this site to try and push it past 100 by the end of the month, if that's possible. I'm also going to put a little bit more effort into working on Caliban Rising, because I think now perhaps that YouTube channel is something that could make me a bit more money than some of the other blogs. But ultimately my goal is to make enough money from these websites that I can start outsourcing a little bit more, and I want to avoid outsourcing from places like iWriter. I either want to hire my own writers, to have enough money to hire some of those premium writing services, because the stuff I get back is just, I might as well write it myself because there's no research done to it, and the editing is just crazy. So there you have it. I tried to put as much detail as I could into this video. I'd love to hear how you guys are doing. If you're doing much better than me, please share some of your tips in the comments. But if you're looking at my results and you're impressed with what you see, then I can really recommend checking out the Project 24 course run by Income School. It's pretty much what I followed with my websites, and in recent weeks, a lot of the things they've been saying are proven to be right, and I think you can see that with the traffic I've got. So hopefully in the monthly updates that I do from every month now on, we're going to see more traffic and more income, and finally I can reach my goal of that full-time income. Watch this space.